me pick a beautiful person from Japan. A question for the Prime Minister. Go ahead.
One question. Why didn't you tell U.S. allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it.
Good evening. I'm Ivana Smith. Tonight, a White House press conference that has Washington and the world talking. President Donald Trump met with Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba in the Oval Office today, and what unfolded in front of cameras left diplomats, analysts, and allies searching for answers. We're going to walk you through exactly what happened, moment by moment. No spin, just the facts. It started with what seemed like a straightforward question. The Japanese Prime Minister asked President Trump why the United States did not inform its allies, including Japan and European nations, before launching military operations against Iran. It is a legitimate question. Long-standing diplomatic protocol generally calls for coordination with treaty allies before major military action. NATO partners and Asian allies were, by multiple accounts, caught off guard. President Trump's response, however, was not what anyone in that room appeared to expect. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? The president said. Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? The comment referencing Japan's 1,941 surprise attack on the United States Navy drew immediate silence in the room. Cameras caught the prime minister's expression shift visibly. Body language experts would later describe it as a moment of acute diplomatic discomfort. To be clear, the Pearl Harbor attack occurred 84 years ago. Japan and the United States have been formal treaty allies since 1951. Japan hosts approximately 54,000 American troops today. The U.S.-Japan alliance is widely considered one of the most strategically significant partnerships in the Indo-Pacific. Whether the comment was intended as humor, deflection, or genuine frustration, its impact on the bilateral atmosphere in that room was unmistakable. From there, the press conference moved to the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway through which an estimated 20% of global oil supplies pass. President Trump argued that the United States, which he said imports less than 1% of its oil through the strait, is bearing the burden of defending a waterway that primarily benefits Europe and Asia. We don't use the strait, he said. We're defending it for everybody else. He then addressed NATO directly, saying that alliance members, who he claims depend heavily on the strait, initially declined to assist in defending it. He said that now, as the military operation has progressed, NATO partners are expressing more willingness to help. His response to that offer? He doesn't want it anymore. It's too late, the president said. He specifically mentioned the United Kingdom's offer to deploy aircraft carriers, saying he wanted that support before the conflict began, not after. Analysts note that this framing raises significant questions about the future of multilateral security arrangements that have defined Western foreign policy since World War II. Perhaps the most striking economic headline of the day came when the Pentagon confirmed it would be requesting an additional $200 billion from Congress. President Trump defended the figure, saying, "The United States needs to remain, and here we are quoting directly, tippy-top in terms of military readiness." A reporter immediately followed up with what many were thinking. If the war is nearly over, why does it require $200 billion in additional funding? The president's answer pointed to broader military readiness goals, replenishing ammunition stocks he said were depleted in part by support given to Ukraine under the previous administration, and sustaining what he described as an ongoing need to project global strength. The $200 billion request comes as Congress has simultaneously debated significant cuts to domestic programs, including Medicaid and rural hospital funding. Whether lawmakers will approve the full request remains to be seen. President Trump described Iran's military capacity as severely diminished, saying missiles are down over 90%, drones have been dramatically reduced, and defense manufacturing infrastructure has been heavily damaged. We've demolished that country it's close to demolished, he said. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who also spoke today, confirmed that one-way attack drones were down approximately 90% from the start of the campaign, and that strikes were targeting Iran's defense industrial base. However, independent reporting from the region presents a more complicated picture. Iranian forces have reportedly struck targets including an American F-35, an energy facility in Haifa, a liquefied natural gas plant in Qatar, and infrastructure in Riyadh. The frequency and accuracy of these strikes, analysts say, suggests Iranian military capability has not been fully neutralized. As As always, in an active conflict zone, information is limited, contested, and rapidly evolving. We will continue to report as verified details emerge. Returning to Japan, President Trump made clear what he expects from Tokyo going forward. "I expect Japan to step up," he said, noting the United States stations approximately 45,000 troops in Japan and contributes significantly to the country's defense. He added that Japan imports more than 90% of its oil through the Strait of Hormuz, giving Tokyo, in his view, a direct economic stake in the outcome. The Prime Minister listened. His office has not yet issued a formal public response to the specific remarks made today. In a separate line of questioning, President Trump addressed Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, confirming that Powell is, in his words, under investigation over cost overruns related to the Federal Reserve Building renovation project. Powell has previously indicated he intends to remain in his position until a successor is confirmed. Trump did not directly address whether he intends to remove him, but his tone suggested ongoing friction between the White House and the nation's central bank. Tonight, allies are processing what they heard. Markets are watching. And the questions being asked in capitals from London to Tokyo are the same ones being asked here at home. What is the endgame in Iran? What does the alliance structure look like when this is over? And who pays the bill? We don't have all the answers tonight, but we will keep asking the questions. I'm Ivana Smith. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you tomorrow night.